Welcome back into McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain, Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir.
Just as I told you when you walked in the door, I'm fighting to hang on to the voice just for a few more hours. I've amended any and all weekend plans to talking as little as humanly possible. The voice is gone. I mean, it's like right there. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like.
Well, you act like you talk a lot during the day. I think I counted up.
I got to have a better plan for how I do this.
I think I counted it up for you the other day because now you've actually added more with the extra stuff that you know MPW extra stuff.
Yeah. Presented by Rustic Revivals Furniture Company.
Let's go Rustic Revivals.
Your boy Shoemate was on today.
Yes, I know. I watched it. I was very, very happy for my guy Mach 10 Sports. I think I counted up. You do 14 shows during the week in 4 days.
Yeah, I think that's right.
14 in 4 days.
In 4 days. So
and really 15 if you count Saturday's show, but you do basically 15 shows a week.
So I'm going to do starting tomorrow for 3 days, I'm going to do the Kamala Harris plan. Don't talk. Just say nothing. Don't turn the page.
Hey, they already know. TikTok people already know I'm going to be cut loose today. I got all kinds of good sayings today. There's a 0.0% chance that TikTok allows us to stay on live today.
You see, I grew up in a middle class home.
Hey,
the people in my neighborhood cared about their lawns.
Hey, somebody on and he didn't get the joke. I felt so bad for the guy. So Cole posted the Lane Kiffin thing from the other day. You know how Cole likes anytime we go ragey, he'll clip it, for clicks. And Cole's got pretty good at the old clickbait. So anyway, he does that. And there's some poor Florida fan that's just dying on the heel, just dead wrong, right? I mean, just wrong as rain. I mean, he's talking about buyouts, and he's out of he's. And
did you see RebelGrove.com today?
So
one of our national recruiting guys post a column that goes, "Would Lane Kiffin go to Florida?" I'm like, "Why are you doing this?
Why?
Yeah, what do you do? What are we doing?
Like, heads up, please." So anyway,
sometimes I just question stuff.
Some guy hit me with like some preposterous, like "my bad" or something like that, and I responded. I quote tweeted him and said, "I grew up in a middle class family." And then he hit me back with "same." I was like, "Man, he don't get it."
Yeah, but those are the people.
But
man.
if you don't get that tells me everything I need to know.
It tells me that you were Meatloaf Monday, Taco Tuesday, period. And those people exist.
Yeah,
they have meatloaf on Monday nights. Dinner's at 6, not 6:01.
Yeah,
not 5:59. 6.
You gotta have it time ready for Wheel of Fortune, dog.
Wheel of Fortune's at 6:30.
Is it like I don't know the time on that, but
6:30.
I know that I did look at Erin a little sideways yesterday, and she goes, "Hurry up, we have to turn it. Wheel of Fortune is coming on." I looked and I stopped right then. I was like, "That's it. This is the moment that you remember that it's officially old geezer house." Hurry, Wheel of Fortune's coming on at 6:30. And I just looked.
And Pat's not on anymore.
No, it's Ryan Seacrest.
Is that who it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the guy on Jeopardy now?
I don't know.
It's a new dude.
Is it the Jennings guy? He did it for a while.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Let's do it. You know what time it is.
Welcome into episode 210 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Thursday afternoon.
Make it rain.
So Make It Rain Thursday. It's September the 19th. Hope everyone's having a great week. Hope you have big weekend plans. Hope you have a safe weekend ahead. We'll be with you for a little while. Had some more programming already on MPW Digital today. We have more on the way after us. So just hang out here, right here on had 2 dead minutes on MPW Digital. Just then we finished up with
Shame.
Yes, MPW Digital Extra. And then now it's us. And then we'll be followed by The Butcher versus the Dance Instructor. All of this in podcast form as well. As the day goes on, we're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or what am I doing?
You're on the wrong show.
I'm on the wrong show. I'll do that later tonight. We're brought to you. Jeez.
Hey, do you need a Red Dragon to get your life going?
I probably would use a Red Dragon right now. We're brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, I'm rocking with the Rain Inferno Red Dragon. This right here will get you breathing fire like a dragon. This will get you juiced. This would wake up a dead person right here. You know what? If, a lot of people don't realize this too. We're also brought to you by the Biden-Harris administration 2024. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way today. If Kamala would drink a Rain Red Dragon, she wouldn't need a damn teleprompter. And she could turn the page.
I don't know.
Turn the page.
I got my doubts.
Turn the page. No, Rain Red Dragon. This is my stuff. That's what I rock with on Make It Rain Thursdays here. Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. Check this out. It's Chevy truck season at Cooper Chevrolet Buick in Anniston, Alabama. They have over $14,250 off the Chevrolet Silverado, or you can get up to 1.9% APR and no payments for 90 days. They have over 100 Chevy Silverados available. Call our friends at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. Neal, we're also brought to you by PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. Get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. They have locations in Grenada, Mississippi, and Northport, Alabama. And more importantly, it doesn't matter if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, go to ptgoutdoors.com. That's their online store. They will get you set up and send it to you anywhere in America.
Do us a favor, hit the like button, please. Hit the follow button, the subscribe button on YouTube if you're listening. Follow us on whether it's iTunes, or Spotify, wherever you happen to listen to podcasts. We'd appreciate it.
Let's go. All right, Neal, let's crank this up. Got a busy day here for Make It Rain picks and all that stuff. Got a few things before we get to it, like we always do. I don't know if you saw this or not. I just kind of I had, like when you see things, you go, yep, I get that, I understand. So Dan Campbell, head coach of the Detroit Lions, sells his house and has to move because he was getting fans found out where he lived. And after losses, particularly after they lost the NFC Championship game, he was getting harassed to the point that he had to get police report and police involved and all that stuff. So they're selling their house, and normal person's like, yeah, no big deal. Like, at what point, like, I got two things here, right?
I saw this happen to Will Levis too.
Yeah.
There in the last few days.
Like, I get the two things here. The Lions haven't won in like forever, and you're complaining about losing the NFC Championship game. Probably need to get a little grip of reality there. Okay.
I don't care if they won 6 Super Bowls in a row.
Okay. 2, I know, but I'm like, there. 2 is like, there's this thing literally it's social media driven, right? Because people get behind the deal and they get a little brave.
Yeah.
The audacity, which is a word I learned on TikTok Live today, because I like to thank all of our TikTok Live people. Thank you, probably in the chat today. Thank you for helping me out with that word. The audacity of fans to get to a point to where the police have to be involved. I mean, at what point do we need some better help? You know what I mean?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
I mean,
1,000,000%. Listen, if this stuff means so much to you that when your team doesn't win, you'll threaten or harass coaches or quarterbacks or whatnot, you it's time to look in the mirror. It's time to, as they say, touch some grass.
Yeah.
It's time to
That's good.
It's time to go, hey, maybe this means too much.
Like, all right,
it's like I've been really I wasn't interested in it when it first started, but it's been really fascinating to me to watch. This is along those lines, but it's a different topic. It's college, the reaction sort of inside the state of Arkansas to what Hunter Yurachek said earlier in the week.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting to listen to people talk about it. It's like, a lot of people are like, whoa, are you hearing, and then some people are like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But the point is
That was a little strong take, wasn't it?
it was. Well, I mean, it depends on how you view it.
I think he needed to say it, but
Me,
the numbers that he said was a little strong.
I thought so, for sure. You know, on one hand, you're like, okay, well, I mean, that's the truth. On the other hand, it's like, is anybody hearing this? You know, but anyway, on this, there's more to Dan Campbell than being the Detroit Lions coach. There's more to Will Levis than being the Tennessee Titans coach. They have a right to an identity outside of their work.
No,
and when you go after a person, you go after more than just that person. You go after the people around that person. It's and again, I know this is fringe stuff, but I think it's become a little more prevalent.
Yeah,
because people are. I don't know what it is. There's too many people that are. This isn't just sports. This is everything, right? We see this in politics. I mean, a lot.
Yes.
You see this in the real world too. There's too many people that they don't have a life outside of their device. And
very good point.
And the device,
great point.
Whether it's a laptop or a phone or an iPad or some combination thereof, the internet has become their world.
Yeah.
And they don't have a real world per se, and that becomes the real world. And in the real world, it doesn't work like that. It never has. And so when you it's a shame, right, that you're a guy like Dan Campbell, very successful coach, great guy, but you know this. I mean, you coached for a long time. There ain't nobody out there not trying.
No, it's not done. You don't try to lose.
Dan Campbell tried to beat the Falcons or whoever it was that he played, right? And let's call it the Falcons for kicks and giggles. Yeah. The Falcons tried to beat the Lions. At the end of the day, ain't but one of them winning. And at some point, everybody gets in their car and drives home. And when you get home, it's one of the reasons I like that Netflix deal when they did like the quarterbacks. And that day that Kirk Cousins lost the playoff game with the Vikings.
Yeah.
He wrapped up his day tucking his kids in bed. And to his kids, he's not the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. Nope. He's dad.
Yep.
You know, and so there are people in Dan Campbell's life who he's not the coach of the Detroit Lions. He's Dan Campbell. And I think that gets lost in just this small fraction of society that's just, it means way too much.
So it's a couple things on this. One is, you know, coming from a coach, okay, we kind of signed up for it. You know, you kind of expect to get the trolls and you know, internet hate and all. You know what's coming. You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Who doesn't sign up for it is your wife and your children.
Yeah, 100%.
And so from a coaching standpoint, most of the issues is not actually on social media. What you worry about as a parent, as a coach and a parent, is you worry about your kids at school. Mm-hmm. Okay, your kids getting picked on or bullied at school over something like that. And then two is where you worried about it is in the stands. Because a lot of times fans don't recognize, you know, they could be sitting. I would advise every university to make sure fans that are sitting around the family section are aware, because there's a lot of times fans in the stands don't like calls or the way the game is going and the way that they're yelling, and the kids hear how people in the row behind them are talking about their dad or whatever, you know, because again, it's not a coach to them, that's their parent. And so that happens a lot in college coaching, a lot. And you know, it's funny. It's not funny, but the passion. Like I had the one that really soured me, and it's over now, but it was very early in the process. So the first year that after I was fired here at Ole Miss, the very first year, on Friday night they had started playing the season. And that was during the Wuhan flu, right after the Wuhan flu. Mm-hmm. Turn the page, though. Just turn the page.
Yeah.
Okay? Right after the Wuhan flu,
Did you see the former New York City like health czar? They got the undercover tape on him. He admitted that during the summer of love, I mean, mostly peaceful, but occasionally fiery and occasionally murdery protest.
Yeah.
He admitted that in the midst of the big New York lockdown, that he and his wife, and I think he said it was 9 or 10 people, basically had like a drug-fueled orgy in a New York hotel.
Okay.
I mean, hey look.
Hey.
I who am I to judge?
Nobody's judging, dog.
But I'm going to guess everyone wasn't masked up at that point.
Do your ditty.
Well, they were all too old for Diddy. They were all legal. Everyone was over 18. He didn't say that no children were involved.
My bad. All right. Yeah. Focus. All right. I'm over here looking for strikes. All right. But
somebody's taking the day off at TikTok right now.
Yeah. Right? We're good. We're chilling. This Thursday, dog. Let's make it rain Thursday. They're letting us fly. All right. So, but no, so like the very first year, so it was like a Friday night before a game, and I went to me and the wife had a date night, and so I went to. I just found out, I guess it's closing. It's King's Steakhouse. I used to love to go to King's Steakhouse. It's just out here by the airport.
Yeah.
So me and the wife went there, and we're sitting at a table, and we're sitting there, and it's like the way they had the table set or whatever, and there was a bunch of tables very close, and so I'm sitting here just like this, and somebody that I would call a booster at Ole Miss, that befriended me and was buddy, how are you doing? Talked to me almost every day, would come to practice, the whole deal.
Oh,
okay. Comes and sits down at the table. I'm not joking, between me and you, like this far. Okay. And is looking right at me. And he looks at me. We've been fired at this point like 10 months. Okay. This is almost a year. More the season. It's in the middle of Lane's first year.
Okay.
And he looked at me, and the first thing he did was made him and his wife switch seats where he wouldn't look at me. And then he got up and asked if he could move tables because he didn't want to sit next to that table. I literally, from here to your TV, asked the waitress to move him.
No.
Yes.
Really?
And so I was like, this is some bullshit.
I'm about to start texting names to you.
I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
I bet you gave me 3 guesses. I bet I could get it.
You probably could. And I'm like, this guy was like, came to my office and would sit down in my office, and just the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
And did not want to be sitting next to me 10 months after we were fired. Like,
yeah, some of those cats.
Like, bro, are you serious right now?
Some of those cats, it means too much.
Now, I want to say this too. I want to make this extremely clear. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only. Now, the problem was that was the first interaction was the COVID and everything else. And I kind of stayed out of the limelight for a little while, took a little break. I had a overly great relationship with the boosters and the people around the program at Ole Miss.
Yeah, sure.
Like that was the first, that shocked me.
Yeah.
And even after that, they were great. All the people, I talked to a bunch of them. They were very nice people, very, very cordial people. But that was kind of bullshit Bush League. And so I'll tell you this, he has a business, and I have not partaken in any of his business adventures since that. He can go fuck himself as far as I'm concerned.
That might change my guess.
Sorry, Mom. I just got a text. Mom's listening, so I apologize for that.
Sorry, Mom.
All right, that's that. All right, Neal, I'm going to have to make a statement here on the podcast today. Got to make a proclamation.
This is big of you.
What
is coming is big of you.
Neal, I'm going to have to recall hot take number 2 of the year. That was beautiful. I'm going to have to recall hot take number 2 of the summer. I got to recall it, Neal. Got to recall it.
Yep. Well, hot takes are not always right.
Well, I got tricked in this one. I did not know all of my information when I made the hot take.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, just telling you, Sherron Moore and his agent may listen to our show. Because hot take number 2 of the summer, if you don't recall, is Michigan's going to fall off a little bit this year. Michigan fans did not like that. I said they were going to lose 3 or 4 games. The Michigan boosters were not going to like that. And they were going to dismiss Sherron Moore. And they were going to use the NCAA violations against him. They were going to dismiss him so they wouldn't have to pay the buyout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Neal, as you saw in the news last week, Sherron Moore finally signed. He had an MOU. That's called a memorandum. You can still get paid when you sign your MOU. He finally got through the lawyers and all that stuff, got the actual contract signed last week. How about this? Unique clause in the contract of Sherron Moore states that he cannot be fired with cause or for cause for anything that happened NCAA violation-wise that he was named in prior to January 27th of 2024. That's also called the Connor Stallions Clause.
Yes.
And I will say this. He's listed in a bunch of that stuff. The fact that is in there, I feel validated that the fact that that clause made it in that contract. And let me tell you something, just because it's in that contract, that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
The fact that that's in that contract
it does.
tells you a lot. Because if you're not worried about it, if you didn't do anything,
yeah,
why would you put a clause in your contract?
No, that's an admission. It's also Michigan going, screw it, let's move on.
Yeah.
Turn the page.
Hey, you know what Michigan was doing, Neal?
Turn the page.
You know, Sherron Moore grew up in a middle-class family.
Did he?
Yeah. And
one of those places where they cared about the lawn?
They cared about their lawn. They wanted to make sure the lines were straight in the lawn. And, you know, they sat down at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And they were worried the grocery prices are going up. And they were wondering, how are we going to pay our grocery bill? Let me tell you how Sherron Moore is going to pay his grocery bill. He put this Connor Stallions clause in his contract to assure that he would be able to pay his grocery bill for now and in the future. And we're calling that turn the page. We're turning the page.
Michigan's definitely turning the page.
Turning the page on a new generation of leadership.
Yeah, that's good.
You like that?
I like that.
Hey, she's about halfway gone, boys. About halfway gone. All right. I love it. All right. Last thing before we get to Make It Rain. You had to see this, or you may not have. So I have determined.
I had not seen this before you brought it up.
I have determined, Neal, that I'd like to thank Twitter and TikTok, and they've learned me pretty well. I think I'm getting into my peepaw age or something. I don't know. My For You page has now turned in, like, you can't say it's just football or it's just politics. It's just a bunch of fucking dumbasses. That's what my TikTok
Sorry,
page.
Mom.
It's over. Yeah, so that's twice. Over and over. She will let me know about it too. That's over. So you're like, golly. I mean, I text you things like tweets I get, and everything I text you, I had to stop yesterday. I sent you, I don't know, 2 or 3 in a row, and I finally said, Neal, I'm sorry, this is the last one. Like, how do people function like that? So today I wake up, or it wasn't I wake up.
See,
I was up.
I get you and Josh Hendrickson texting me different things. And it actually is probably pretty good for me because
you probably don't need to go on Twitter.
Well, that's that. And I start the mornings typically kind of questioning my sanity. And by the end of the day, I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm okay compared to some of these people.
It's probably good for your mental health.
Yeah.
It probably is. Like, you know what? I'm all right. All right. So, big football guy. And so what do we have today? We had a football dumbass today. So, Mel Kiper, who's worked for ESPN for I don't know how long.
Long time.
Decades.
Yes.
And he is a draft expert. And so, can this be life advice?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do life advice.
Life advice.
This is from Mel Kiper. Life advice from Mel Kiper.
Life advice from Mel Kiper and others, presented by Cole Walters of State Farm Insurance. Cole Walters is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him at colewaltersinsurance.com. In fact, I heard from Cole just yesterday. I won't give away everything that he told me, but to prove to you that advertising works. Where is it? Oh, hell, I don't know. I've had a busy phone day. Anyway, sold some
insurance.
Sold some policies.
Let's go.
I think some homeowners policies.
Let's go.
Off of this.
Hey, let's go, chat. Let's go. All right, Mel Kiper. This is life advice. Cole Walters, provided by Cole Walters State Farm. So he's really struggled probably since anybody started watching film. His draft picks or his draft, whatever he does, I don't know. I think people like mess with him on purpose and give him bad information, but he's really struggled with the draft stuff. He's gotten all the stuff. But, like, you know when you should stick to what you know? Like, stick to the draft.
Had a daughter moving to Atlanta post-college, got her insurance squared away with our friends at Cole Walters Insurance. There you go. Cole Walters State Farm, baby.
So you probably should stick to the draft and try to improve that, because today on the morning show on ESPN, this dude with a straight face, because touchdowns have gone down, quarterback touchdown passes have gone down in the last 2 years compared to before that, okay? And they've been on a slightly steady decline, but it's like dropped by like 50% in the last 2 years.
Okay.
All right. And this dude with a straight face gets on ESPN this morning and thinks that the NFL should outlaw too high safeties.
Why?
My point. Because he's like, they can't throw it anymore because the safeties are too deep. He wants them to force them to only line up a certain amount distance from the line of scrimmage.
But why?
That could, like, I'm not joking when I say this. This guy has covered football for decades, okay? If my wife, who doesn't know if it's 3 or 4 downs to get a first down, if my wife would not even come with that take. This is one of the most preposterous, clueless.
My wife, who does not watch football ever,
she wouldn't come with that take.
Would tell you that's stupid.
And so, all right, so here's what I got a great idea. If you want the reason that the numbers are down is because the quarterback play in the NFL is shit compared to what it was 15 years ago.
That's a huge component of it. I contend there's one more component.
The other component is the way the college game is. The college game has gotten is getting further and further away from the NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
And so now as
because
quarterbacks,
of the
RPO stuff, and then how they, with tempo offenses, how you're teaching the quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks aren't going through full progressions. They're cutting off half the field, having a high or low read based on 1 high, 2 high, all that stuff. The quarterbacks don't fit. And so as these older quarterbacks retire, you're replacing them with guys that are just doing this, and they don't huddle, take snaps under center.
They don't know how to do progressions. And then I think there's one more.
All right, go ahead. What's your other one?
And tell me I'm wrong.
No, it's okay.
It's just kind of an observation certainly at the college level, but I've noticed it at the pro level too. And you know me, I probably watch more pro than I do college. I don't know whether it's that O-line play has declined some, or if it's because, or it might be an and/or. But I do think D-line play has become more athletic. So therefore, all of this actually kind of goes hand in hand, I think, the more I think about it. And I'm thinking about this literally.
That's what I was about to say. It goes hand to hand, but
I'm sort of thinking about this on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a formulated thought. So coaches are preparing game plans, sort of knowing that the quarterback's not going to have a lot of time to throw the football.
Yes.
Unless it's moving out of the pocket. He's not going to have a lot of – you're not going to see that traditional drop back, 5-7 step drop, 3-point-something seconds, go through your progression, go to the third option. Here's the ball.
You don't have time.
Because the O-line play is not going to hold up.
And
the defensive line are better. And so, therefore, the quarterbacks, in addition to these RPO systems, and now you have all these coaches like Sarkisian, Heupel, Kiffin. This is not a criticism. They're very effective. They're very, very good at what they do. They're getting paid a lot of money to what? Win college football games.
Yeah.
The development of a quarterback for the NFL is kind of way down the list of priorities, right? And so these guys are getting the ball out of their hands quickly.
Yep.
Fast read, hot read. You don't want to get the quarterback hit. Now the quarterback at the college level is making $1 million. You don't want to get him hit because the guy behind him is not making $1 million, and there's a reason for that.
I got another one for you too when you get done.
So they get to the NFL, and now they haven't had time to practice progressions. And at that level, you don't have – tell me if I'm wrong. Certainly when you scout a high school game, you talked about this the other day with AJ, you can pick a guy on, hey, we're going to pick this poor kid, bless his heart. We're going to go after him, right? It's not that much – it's not that clear cut at the college level. But let's face it. If you've talked about this before, if you're a high-level college quarterback, you're playing a handful of your games against teams that can't beat you.
Correct.
And then you're playing a lot of your conference games against teams that can't beat you unless you guys play horrible and they play great, right?
Yeah, you got to beat
yourself. It happens here and there, but
yeah,
you get to the NFL level, and nobody gets to put on a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey and take the field without being a really good football player.
This is accurate.
And so, or a San Francisco 49ers or a Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or pick your team, I don't care. So everybody that's in a front seven starting at an NFL level is really freaking good and typically can really run. So you don't have, all right, we're just going to pick this dude. We're just going to go after this dude and embarrass him and bless his heart. No, I mean, you can't do that at the NFL level. So it's even more pronounced. Hey, we got to get the ball out of the hands. We got to move. We got to do these things. And I don't know. It's just my observation of it. And then as this goes on, and I think it's pronounced offensive line play. And I've talked to some people who've told me I'm right on this.
No,
So
it's bad across the board.
Yeah. And gets worse.
Yes.
And as it gets worse, you have to adjust to it as a coach, which means that these guys that are getting to the professional level out of high school and then college and a lot of 7-on-7 and all this stuff that they do now, nobody gets sacked in 7-on-7.
That's where I'm going with this next one.
And so that's their development. And they get to the pro level, and there's so much teaching that is required. And then now, I mean, NFL coaches, you don't get a job and go, hey, listen, Dan, you got 5 years, man. Take your time. No, it's like, hey, today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
We would really like to win by, I don't know, Sunday. And so
yes.
everybody's betting on it and all this stuff, and people are, it's a big multi-billion-dollar business, and it's hard.
All right, so you said something I want to bring up. If somebody in chat's in here, we got a lot of people in the chat. If somebody has brought this up, let me. I don't think anybody has ever brought this up. Okay, I was thinking about this. Like this happened. I saw this on Sunday. I think it's when I started thinking about this on Sunday. Do you know who's getting drafted and who the young quarterbacks are right now in the NFL? The time frame. They are prime when 7-on-7 got popular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the guys that are going in the NFL, if you back them up to their high school years, that's when 7-on-7 was bumping, right? In 7-on-7, do you know the time? You know what the timer is set at? That's how they get their development. You know what the timer is set at on a 7-on-7 tournament to determine a sack?
I don't.
4 seconds.
4 seconds. Okay.
Okay. In the National Football League, if you hold on to the ball, you have 2.5 seconds to get rid of the ball. That is what you count as getting rid of the football. So they've trained their whole life at 4 seconds. And now when you get to the NFL, it's 2.5 seconds. And so I think that's a big, like you look at the guys,
huge, yeah.
that's a big difference.
Well, especially if you've got Aiden Hutchinson and
That's how
Micah Parsons and
you got
people
2.5 seconds to cut it loose, or you're going to be breathing out your ear hole.
Coming to just absolutely decimate you.
Yeah, you watch a quarterback that gets sacked. Like we're going to watch a game tonight. Somebody's going to get sacked tonight. Watch how long they hold the ball. You're not getting sacked in 2.5 seconds.
Right.
But to your point, that's because of offensive line play. That's because of defensive line play. And then in the NFL, why that's so important is there's not this RPO thing. In college, you can do RPOs and you can do like, look what, and I give them credit. And everybody wants to talk about, coaching. The coach Kate sucks. Let me tell you something. Brian Kelly and the offensive staff in the South Carolina game, nobody talked about it all week because I listened to every point. I said it a couple times, but nobody else said it. Where they coaching-wise, what I was like, dude, that's a damn good coaching job. About halfway through the second quarter, when they started rolling, they never sat on the protection point. They moved they did something to move the pocket every time. You cannot stand like a statue anymore. At the protection point is 7.5 yards behind the center. Can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. And so from about halfway through the second quarter, the rest of the game, Nussmeier was off that point. And so you're not a standing target. So, but long story short, I think that 7-on-7 has something to do with that. All right, Neal. Do you know what I was really thinking about today?
Wendy's Nugs?
I was.
Were you really?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've covered this ground a little bit, but you've had them dipped in sauce, I know.
I turned the page.
You've turned the page, and now you're having them covered in sauce.
Do you know why I'm going to get Wendy Nugs tonight, Neal?
Be careful.
Because
they take the crispy and sauce spicy nugs you love and they turn them up to 11. That's why. That's the only reason. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, and garlic parm. If you're a heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper. Only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. So pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you have never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Man, I had it teed up too. I'm not going to do it. I'm a team player, Neal.
I know, thank you.
I'm a team player.
Thank you very much.
I'm a team player. I could have added to that. I could have added to the advertisement, but it may have been the last one we did.
That email would not have been a good one.
It may have been the last time we nugged like we never nugged before, but I had a good one in there for you.
Dear Mr. McCready.
take these coupons
and shove them square up your
No Diddy.
No. Let's move right along. What else you got?
It's time for Make It Rain Thursday. It's time for picks, Neal. Let's do it before we get X'd out of here. All right, I gotta fix my chair. I got my chair all messed up. Here we go. Oh, I'm crying. That was good. All right, Neal. Going into this week, Neal is 10, 17, and 1, minus 4.35 units. I am 14, 13, and 1, plus 1.25 units. I have been getting my teeth kicked in the NFL, so I got to pick it up in the NFL, or I would have a nice little record if it wasn't for the old NFL killing me right now. I have a lead by 5.6 units going in to week number 4. Neal, why don't you start us off right here, boss man?
All right. You know what? I'm gonna start with the game tomorrow night. I might double up on Friday night and just let the weekend either start terribly or great.
I like that. That's a good strategy.
I mean, when you have no strategy, that might be a strategy. I like Illinois. I like them a lot. I like Brett Bielema. I like Luke Altmaier. Good people. I know both people.
Yep.
Like them both.
Yep.
As human beings.
As human beings, yep.
Like Luke's family a lot. Good people. Enjoyed his time here. First class dude. I think Brett Bielema is a funny guy.
He actually is.
An interesting guy. I've always enjoyed talking to him. That being said, I think they're going to get their teeth kicked in Lincoln, Nebraska Friday night. And I don't wish any ill will on them. I hope nobody's injured in the process. But give me Nebraska -8 at home against Illinois.
So we talked about Nebraska at length. They gave I don't know if you saw this today. This is how you do it, man. Like, Nebraska is growing on me. It's like slowly becoming like the team I want to cheer for. Do you know they shut down college tomorrow? The entire college shut down classes so they could go tailgate early for the freaking ball game.
Well, you know, this guy's like my favorite coach in all of football right now.
I mean,
did you heard what he advocated, right?
I've heard several.
Matt Rule?
I mean, yeah, several things, but which one? Which part? A bunch of things.
Football kegs and eggs.
Oh, yes,
9 a.m. kickoffs.
Oh, yeah, that's your guy.
And I was like,
let's do why not 7 a.m.?
I was like, where have you been all of my life?
Why not 7 a.m.?
Why? Screw it, Trump and Harris. Let's
turn the page.
Let's turn the page to Matt Rule. 9 a.m. kickoffs.
Would you vote for a Matt Rule Nick Saban ticket right now?
Oh, as long as Saban wasn't going to veto the 9 a.m. kickoff, yes.
Oh no, he's good. He
probably would like 9 a.m.
No, he would.
He might love 8 a.m. kickoffs.
Like, he would love it. No, you can't mess his routine up. No earlier than 7:30. He'll get there at 7:30.
Okay, that's fine too.
Guy routine.
So Rule Saban 2024 9 a.m. kickoffs. Do you realize how productive society would be if the game's kicked off at 9 a.m.?
Dog, it would be great.
So the game would go from 9 till 12:30. I'd write till about 3. Finish a post-game show by 3:30, 4 o'clock. To pull into the driveway, day done at 4 p.m. How nice that would. Do you know how nice that would be?
Dude, I tell people, I know fans like to do the tailgate and all that stuff. There is, like, from a coaching standpoint, you feel like you get a half a day off in a time where you don't have any days off.
Yeah.
Like, fans that don't know this, teams that go to the playoffs will not have an off day at all. If you have a bowl, it depends on when your bowl game is, you may not have one either. But if teams that are in the playoffs, whenever they went to work in late July, they're not going to have another off day until the Thursday after signing day in February, like literally every single day. So those early kicks, man, you get home and got like half a day off, get to eat dinner, drink a couple of Diet Millers, enjoy your time. Good stuff. Yeah. What was the line at Nebraska minus? What did you have it at? 8? Okay. All right, Neal. I'm going to do some emotional hedging right here.
Okay.
I'm really didn't have a big pool.
It's still 8 right now.
Still 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only have 8 games here. I'm going to do some emotional hedging here. My South Alabama Jags are traveling to Boone, North Carolina tonight, Neal. We're going to start this thing off on Thursday night. My South Alabama Jags, okay? Throw your J's up with your left hand, please. I'm pulling for my South Alabama Jags. I love my South Alabama Jags. But tonight, Neal, this is just for the competition. I'm emotional hedging. Sadly, I feel like somebody on Big Brother. Sadly, I vote to take App State -7 at home versus my South Alabama Jags. So if my South Alabama Jags get an upset, I will gladly give up the unit. But give me App State for the sake of the competition -7 against my Jags tonight in Boone, North Carolina.
Okay. All right.
Very upset. I feel like I let down. I feel like I betrayed my alliance on Big Brother. It's like, it's a very sad day. But hopefully I'm actually bringing them goodwill because my luck has not been good right now. So maybe my Jags Gio Lopez and my Jags can find a way to win one on the road.
All right. I'm staying on Friday night as well. Stanford playing their first ACC game on Friday night.
That sounds
what
weird,
used to
man.
be the Carrier Dome. I don't know what it's called now.
That's a long trip, cuz.
It's a long trip. It used to be the Carrier Dome. For me, it will always be the Carrier Dome. I've covered one football game in the Carrier Dome.
Auburn, Syracuse.
Syracuse.
That's right after 9/11, right?
The first game after 9/11. That place was
Dwight Freeney.
That place.
Jason Campbell.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, there was like a no terrorism rule that Dwight Freeney did not adhere to.
Yeah.
He terrorized Jason Campbell that night. It was bad.
Can we say, I want to say something about that real quick that we've never told on this show about that. You just reminded me of it. So, we had to fly right after that same weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We played Oklahoma State. I was at Northwestern State. We played Oklahoma State that next game. And congratulations to the Demons. We were scheduled to play Gardner-Webb that week, and we dropped Gardner-Webb, and we had to pick up Oklahoma State. Hey, good job, AD. Thanks. So you couldn't get charter planes at our level,
right.
And so all the charter plane companies, it was just weird times. We had to fly commercial, okay? We bussed, and we actually played Elon. We had to fly commercial. We had to bus from Natchitoches, Louisiana to Dallas. We picked up Oklahoma State and bus. That was Elon we were going to. And we bused to Dallas from Natchitoches, a 3-hour bus ride, spent the night after practice on Thursday night to get on a commercial flight.
Yep.
The freaking football team gets on a commercial plane. And dude, I remember, this is how weird it was. I remember people just checking people. And I remember specifically remembering the flight attendant coming down and goes, "Man, I'm glad y'all are on this flight." It was like the first day they allowed flights back. Mm-hmm. She goes, "We don't have to worry about a thing on this flight." I said, "No, ma'am, you don't." I said, there's some big dudes on this plane. But we rolled 120 deep flying to Charlotte.
I flew Mobile to Atlanta to Syracuse on a Thursday. And the two things I remember about that day the most were how completely empty Hartsfield International was. I mean, there's nobody there.
Spooky.
It was wild. And then I got on the plane, and I remember the stewardess was like, "You pick a seat." I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, pick a seat. You'll have
any seat.
She goes, "You'll have a row to yourself as long as you want one." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, there's 17 of you on this flight." That flight was so empty. There was nobody on it.
Was it a direct flight?
Atlanta to Syracuse, yeah.
That's crazy.
It was wild.
Yeah, crazy. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
So speaking of Syracuse, I'm going to go with the orange. I'm going to lay the 8.5 against Stanford. Give me Syracuse -8.5.
All right, the Qs -8.5.
Why not?
Why? They're playing well.
Yeah,
they're playing well.
Yeah.
All right, Neal. There's a game in the big house.
Oh,
Lincoln Riley.
I like this one too.
And the USC Trojans are traveling to the big house at 11 a.m. Saturday morning. The Trojans are getting 5.5 points. And Neal, guess what?
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Agreed.
I have USC. Huge. I'm talking about where's Grind at? I saw him in the chat. I'm thinking alt line huge in the big house Saturday. Give me USC alt line. I don't even know what it is. I bet you can get some good odds on that. USC minus 5.5 on the road at Michigan.
All right. Well, I think it's going to be a bad day for the state of Michigan because not only are the Wolverines going to get mauled, I agree with you, so are the Spartans. Give me Boston College back at home. BC minus 6.5 at home against Michigan State.
I know what you're doing. Boston College, dude,
they played really well.
They
last
are
week.
fun to watch.
They played a good. People are doing this deal with Missouri, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. Mizzou's really good. Mizzou had to be really good, or else they would have lost to BC last week.
Yeah,
BC's good. Missouri's not for real. It's like, stop. I'm just telling you, Missouri's a really good team. Boston College has that really good quarterback. They play. They're well coached,
so physical on defense.
Physical, and they'll bring it to you, and they're tough at home.
They out physicaled Missouri. Like, I'm not joking. Everybody's like, oh, I'm with you. Everybody's like, oh, Missouri. That said to me more about Boston College than it did Missouri, if that makes sense. Like Missouri. Everybody's trying to make this Georgia Kentucky comparison.
To me, it told me a lot about both teams.
Yeah. There was a stretch there in the second quarter where Missouri they scored like 17 unanswered or something like that, 14 unanswered, whatever it was. But yeah, I like Boston.
Michigan State doesn't have Luther Burden running around.
No, they do not.
They don't.
They don't. All right, Neal. The Tulane Green Wave are traveling to your home state. Yeah. They're staying in state. They're not traveling very far.
I was going to say they're there.
They're taking a little trip down I-10. They're going to.
Oh, they're going to Lafayette?
They're going to ULL.
Oh.
In a renovated stadium.
Oh, they still have the Cajun Dome down there, the basketball arena?
Yeah. To the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
I haven't heard it being replaced. Tulane is favored by 3 points, Neal, at ULL. Okay. I have it on high authority that Tulane is ready to go and ready to play and taking this game extremely seriously.
You know people at Tulane?
I have it on good authority that the Tulane Green Wave is ready to go.
Okay.
Give me the Tulane Green Wave, the fighting John Summeralls -3 at ULL.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stay in the state of Louisiana myself.
Oh.
Some people say I should have stayed there originally. It's thought. Where's my football? Give me my football.
Let me go.
I need my football. I need my grandfather's football. LSU, the Tigers. There we go. LSU, you see the part of the use peeled off there. LSU, the Tigers at home against UCLA. This is a get-well game for LSU.
Oh.
This is a get-well game. UCLA is putrid. Dog. LSU is about to absolutely unload on them. They're going to take out some frustration. This is a get-well game for LSU. Not that they're going to get well, but this is a get-well game. They're going to score a ton of points. The defense is going to unload on these guys. 24 is easy. LSU easy covers 24.
What time is this game?
2:30 in the afternoon.
Well, I was going to say, if UCLA got the old...
You know how hot it's going to be? 2:30 in the afternoon in Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
That's
for a
cool.
bunch of dudes that have been practicing in L.A.
I like to pick.
I mean, you cannot prepare for that humidity. There's nothing you can do.
Love it.
By the way, it's down to 23.5. I will take my half point.
Okay. LSU minus 23.5. All right, Neal. This is my fourth game. The Tennessee Vols, as advertised. I told you I'd be picking this game. The Tennessee Vols, Neal. They are traveling to Norman, Oklahoma. Nico's first SEC road game. First really road game, period. He's played in a neutral site a couple times. First real road game. He's traveling to face the best defense that he has played so far. And the Oklahoma Sooners are about to see the Tennessee defensive line on the other side. They got some guys back. They're getting a wide receiver back, possibly getting their center back. They're getting some guys back. They're getting healthy. Oklahoma's getting healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Tennessee Vols, they're fixing to see something. So, Neal, I am taking the under 57.5. Look, I've called this under since the beginning of the summer. I think, all kidding aside, I think Oklahoma's path to competing in this game is they have to extend drives. They have to run the clock. They have to run clock. They have to limit Nico's possessions on offense. They have to. I need a couple stops here. I need a couple of stops. And ironically, I think Tennessee is going to try to establish a ground game to set up the play action game for big shots. So give me the under at 57.5 in Tennessee, Oklahoma.
All right. Guess what is Saturday?
Saturday is the 21st of September.
It's also the Big 12 opener for the Colorado Buffaloes.
Do we need to have a special guest?
I mean, he can come. He's not going to like what I'm about to have to say. All the gimmicks today. Colorado and Buffalo.
What's up, Scoops?
What's up, Joker?
Did you say Colorado?
I did.
I was just hanging out over there. I heard Colorado was coming up. What do you got? Are you picking this game?
I am.
All right, Scoops, what do you got?
Colorado is a 2-point favorite over the Baylor Bears, Dave Aranda and company.
Are you telling me that somebody thinks Colorado's going to win a game?
A lot of people do.
Oh, okay.
Including me. Give me Colorado -2, Dion and the boys. -2 against the Baylor Bears. Let's go, Buffaloes. I need a W. Colorado -2. We're gonna finally win a league game under Coach Prime. Gonna get a dub in league play.
Neal, I flew in for this. It's a good time to remind everybody in the chat to go visit. We got to get Neal to visit BetterHelp.com/MPW.
That's right.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm totally serious.
You're taking the Colorado Buffaloes as a home favorite?
As a home favorite, 2-point home favorite.
Against a Power 5 team?
If Baylor qualifies, sure. Power 4, actually, yes.
Power 4, Power 5, Power 3.
Right.
When the ACC goes, we'll be down Power 3.
Yeah. That's
unbelievable.
Right. It's unbelievable to me, too, but you took 2 of my games, so. Or Tyler did. I'm sorry, not you.
Well, the Joker feels great that Neal's picking Colorado. So that's telling everybody, load up on the Baylor Bears. We'll be in our all green. We'll be ready to go. Take the Baylor Bears because Neal's taking Colorado. Bye.
So ridiculous. All right. So I got my 5 picks are Colorado -2, Boston College -6.5, Nebraska -8, Syracuse -8.5, LSU -23.5. What's your 5th pick?
I can't believe you took Colorado.
I'm running out of teams.
All right, here we go. Neal, my 5th pick. By the way, I got to say this because this is going to come up. The Iowa Hawkeyes are traveling to Minnesota. And Neal, I got a text message just a second ago from our good friend that's watching the show. I'd like to say shout out. Good friend Bo Wallace watching the show.
Hey, Bo.
Bo said, let Neal know that his brother is coaching in Iowa right now, and they are working to get you some gear from his beloved Hawkeyes.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So shout out to Bo. Bo's our guy.
Absolutely.
Bo's your guy. Bo's one of my favorites because he's tough as shit. I like tough as shit quarterbacks.
One of the 5 favorite people I've ever covered in any sport.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Bo's just one of those guys that you would want.
Great dude.
Like, you know how people say you like to coach? You've heard them, I like to coach that guy. That's the dude I go to war with.
I understand. I get it.
Hey, how about this? We need to get.
I never coached him, but I covered him, and I have a lot of respect for the professional.
We'll get Bo to go to Talladega with us. How about that?
That would probably make me feel better.
Be fun, too.
I'm sure it would.
What was Colorado -2?
Yeah, -2.
Right. Neal, the Iowa Hawkeyes are traveling to Minnesota. I was favored by 2.5 points, Neal. Your Hawkeyes are favored on the road at Minnesota.
I looked at this game.
By 2.5 points. And guess what, Neal?
It's not enough.
It's too much.
Oh.
Give me the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
See, that's going to cost me my gear.
+2. He's sending it to you, not me.
Okay.
You're wearing the Hawkeye stuff. Give me the Minnesota Golden Gophers +2.5 at home. I actually like Minnesota to win this game. I just like my money line better. But I'm taking Minnesota at home +2.5. This is going to be a banger. This is going to be like the total in this game is like 30 something. Give me Minnesota plus 2.5. The final score may be like 7-6, 3-2. Very physical game going to take place in Minnesota this weekend. All right, Neal, what you got? Money line.
I'm gonna let you go because I'm still picking.
All right, Neal, it's money line time.
I've actually hit my last 2 money lines.
All right, the 3 money lines I had I will tell you the 3 money lines I had, and I've already picked the one I'm going with. But the 3 money lines I had under
put
consideration.
Mine in the stream for people to help me vote.
Okay, so the 3 that I had, I actually have one of them. The 3 that I had as a possibility is I had the Minnesota plus 115. I had Cal. I had him at plus 20, plus 114, whatever it is now. But I had Cal money line at Florida State. I think Culture is going to win that game. And then the one I'm going with, Neal.
Yeah, Cal is plus 114 right now.
Okay. And the one I'm going with, Neal. I've said I was going to pick this game all week. And by God, I'm not changing my opinion. Neal.
Yep.
Give me. Pig. Suey Pittmans. Give me the fighting Sam Pittmans and Bobby Petrino to freaking beat the Auburn Tigers in Jordan-Hare Stadium Saturday night. Please make this, oh, dear baby Jesus.
Dear baby freezes.
Dear baby Jesus. No, I can't do that one. Dear baby Jesus, please, for my entertainment on the post-game show with Chase and Jeffrey Wright, please let Arkansas beat Auburn. Please, just for
I bet you could get
my entertainment.
I bet you could get Caroline and or Campbell on the post-game show if Arkansas wins. What time would that be?
I have never.
Maybe not.
I don't know. Yeah, it'd be late probably. Please for my entertainment during that show, please let Arkansas win this. I got them at plus 135. What do you got over there? That was earlier this morning.
Arkansas, Auburn. It was a 2:30 game. I'm looking. Arkansas's money line is plus 120.
Plus 120. See, so they're with me because it was 135 this morning, so it's moved. So give me Arkansas.
The line on that game has moved down to 2.5. Arkansas.
So I had it at 3. That's what's happening.
Arkansas's a 2.5 point.
All right, so give me Arkansas plus 120 against the Auburn Tigers in Jordan-Hare. Grind is just officially not on my team. Grind's just mad at me right now. He won't even respond.
I understand.
He won't even respond.
I'm the only person in Neal's picks who went with Auburn to cover.
You emotional hedged. I'm surprised that Jeffrey didn't do that, but Jeffrey just couldn't do it. Jeffrey's going to pick against Auburn in any game that's under 10 points.
Here's my concern for Arkansas is along the lines of the quarterback play. He's a really athletic kid, Green. I mean, God, he's a freak of an athlete. Yeah. But Petrino's offense, all jokes aside, is built around make a read, get the ball out of your hand. Make a read, get the ball out of your hand.
Yeah.
And there were times against UAB, and they ended up coming back and they won the game. And so it probably worked out in Petrino's best interest, right? Where, hey, we didn't play so good,
right?
But we won. Now let's go look at the film. Let me show you these things in a win. But he had times where the play was schemed perfectly. Dude's running wide open. He doesn't even see him. And then he has a guy running wide open, and he does see him, and he can't make the throw because he's so inaccurate. I worry a little bit about that against a fairly decent Auburn defense.
Yeah, so I'm with you, but would you rather have him or Hank Brown or Peyton Thorne or whoever is your quarterback going in this game?
Well, I wouldn't want to have –
Who's got the best quarterback with all the problems? Who's got the best quarterback?
I didn't see the Brown kid play.
Who's got the best quarterback?
I would get, well, I mean, Taylor Green was the Mountain West Player of the Year a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, Hank Brown did, and there's a lot of Auburn fans listen. Hank Brown did he did a better job, all kidding aside, he did do a better job of making decisions and keeping positive plays, but he did it against New Mexico. The speed of the game, T. Will's going to be, T. Will, he's going to have something to prove. You know what I mean? Like, he's going back home too. So he's going to have something ready to go too. So I think this is let me tell you something now. You talking about, it's not even like there's a lot of storylines in Tennessee, Oklahoma, and there's obviously a lot of storylines with the Florida Mississippi State game. Brother, this game right here is a really, really, really big game for both teams. is Arkansas. It's like a must win for both teams. Like when you're playing teams that are on your level, by God, you got to win. I mean, you're not playing Georgia. Auburn's about to go on a run. They need to get this one, but so does Arkansas, right? So I'm taking the Razorbacks +3 on the money line.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
Go ahead.
So
What are we going with?
I'm waiting to get some. Well, I give one other one on this, and I don't think these things matter a whole lot, but I have heard this game was circled in Fayetteville after last season.
Okay.
There was a sense that a certain side rolled it up, and I have no issue with that, by the way. Roll it up all you want to, but one team had kind of quit a little bit, and one team kept kind of scoring, which I know shocks you, given the coach on one of those teams.
No comment.
Oh God, if you can front run, woo. All right, so I'm trying to pick. I need units more than I need some big score. I don't think FSU can score on Cal.
Oh.
They're so bad offensively. And then there's some rumblings about quit. Cal's going to go play. They've already won at Auburn. Give me the Cal Bears pulling it off in Tallahassee. Cal +114.
So Cal's got a bye week after. Here's the interesting thing. So Cal has a bye week coming up after this game.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this.
Yeah.
They got a bye week. We could end up, if Cal finds a way, which I think is very easy. I'm interested to see like the will to play because you got a team that like Wilcox is a culture guy. Those kids play hard. I know it's the old play hard, motor team, right?
He's a good coach.
Great coach,
Yeah.
all that, good
Yeah.
scheme. And in Florida State is on quit watch, right? If he finds a way to win this game, Neal, they got a bye week, and then they'll be undefeated, hosting probably the undefeated Miami Hurricanes in 2 weeks. A game that nobody Miami's got to go across. Yeah, who would have thought that, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you got this ACC matchup that could be
in Berkeley,
California.
Makes sense.
Sign me up. Let's go. You got to love conference realignment.
All right, NFL.
All right, NFL, let's go.
NFL, I'm going to start with one that I think is pretty simple one. Actually, it's so much crazy. I feel so much more comfortable picking NFL games. I'm making sure the lines are exactly where they were earlier. That's the reason I'm stalling for
you're
just
good.
a split second.
All good. I'll need your help with mine on the changes.
Yep, still the same. One of your hot takes was that Bo Nix was going to be the Rookie of the Year, and I don't like it at all.
Thanks, Neal.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait.
This is not a good spot for them. They go to Tampa, a Tampa team that's playing really well, both sides of the ball.
They are playing well.
Baker Mayfield playing with a lot of confidence. Tampa suddenly has to look around and go, you know what? We're not just a division contender. We're a conference contender. Give me Tampa -6.5. It's a lot of points, but I think they whip Denver.
Okay. All right, Neal. Why not? I said why not. Let's start this bitch off on Thursday night. I got 2 Thursday night picks. I'm going to try to start off hot on Thursday night too. Okay? Tonight, Neal, the New England Patriots are traveling not very far from Boston to Newark, New Jersey, to take on the Jets, the New Jersey Jets. All right?
Jets.
I got the line at 6. Is that still correct?
6 points.
All right. Neal, the Jets, just because I'm just letting everybody I'm 3-7-1 in the NFL, so take that under consideration as you listen to my picks in the NFL. The Jets have, for whatever reason, really, really struggled on defense, and I don't understand it. And they've got guys dinged up. I'm actually like, what in the hell happened to the Jets defense? That's where I'm at right now with the Jets. The Patriots, who I was just the opposite on, I thought the Patriots were one of the worst-looking rosters I've seen in the preseason. And what have they done? They came out and beat our Bengals 16-10, and then they took last week the Seahawks, which I think are pretty good. They took the Seahawks to overtime at home. They find a way. Jacoby Brissett is playing great. They're playing above their head.
He is.
Give me the New England Patriots +6 on the road tonight at the Jets.
Okay. I don't hate that. A line I don't understand. If it's a trap, I'm falling right into it. The New Orleans Saints at home have looked great so far this season. It's going to be rowdy. Philadelphia coming into town. The Eagles are bad lately. Just bad. The line's only 2.5 for some reason. I don't understand it. still sitting here at 2.5. I'm looking right at it. Give me the Saints minus 2.5 at home against Philly.
I like this pick. I actually have this one down. I'm not going with it because you went with it. Eagles 2-9 in their last 11.
Yeah.
Eagles cannot stop the run. So if you're a fantasy guy, look for Alvin Kamara to have a nice little day on because he's playing out of his mind. He's healthy. He's playing out of his mind right now too. I like that pick. All right, Neal, my second game. Battle of Undefeateds.
Okay.
Battle of Undefeateds. The Los Angeles Chargers are traveling to Pittsburgh. The Steelers have yet to allow anybody into the end zone this year. Did you know that?
Did.
Defense, unbelievable.
Which is saying something in the NFL.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. They're at home. They are 1.5 point favorites.
I'm not betting
at home.
this game. I'm not betting it, but I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
game.
Great NFL game. And Neal, guess what? It's not enough. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers in their home opener at minus 1.5. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the thing that's interesting to me. You got two. This feels very trappy to me, just to be honest. I'm going to fall in it, and this is why it feels trappy. Los Angeles just traveled to play Carolina last week. Yep. I imagine they didn't go home. They probably stayed. Whether they stayed home, stayed out the East Coast and practiced this week. I haven't even looked to see if they have, or they went back and they're going to have to come back to the East Coast again. Usually teams stay over.
They'll probably stayed.
Guys don't like being away from home that long. That's why I'm taking a little sleepy game. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at home minus 1.5. Regardless if they went back or what, staying away. It's 11 a.m. kick, the whole deal. Or, to them, it's a 10 a.m. kick. And so,
10 a.m.
Give me the Steelers minus 1.5.
Another reason they probably stayed out there to get acclimated to the time.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of Will Levis, he and his Tennessee Titans are at home this week, looking for a win. Had some rough go so far. 2-point favorites against the Green Bay Packers, who beat the Colts last week. Had a good plan. Didn't ask too much of the quarterback. Now it's on film. Give me the Titans -2 to beat Green Bay at home.
And I hate. I mean, he's a pro now, so you can say it. But like, if Will Levis would just take care of the fucking football, they'd be undefeated right now.
Yeah.
They're actually playing it's literally a few plays here and there that he is not. I mean, he is being reckless with the football. There's a difference between hey, we took the risk and throw the.
And it's not like he's being reckless just 80 plays a game. He's being reckless 2 plays a game.
And every time he does it,
and those 2 plays are killing
them.
Yes,
killing them.
When the coach can be seen saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" On the sideline,
it's pretty good.
It tells you something.
Usually, you get this from the coach. That's when you see coaches doing this.
Yeah, they're dog cussing
because they have them the mic click. What in the fuck are you doing? And then you're like, hey, 2x2. All right, Neal, I like this one. The Baltimore Ravens are traveling to Dallas.
They are.
The 0-2.
Big game for both teams early. I mean, not pivotal, but big.
The 0-2 Baltimore Ravens are 1-point favorites.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas is 1-1.
Yeah.
Dallas is struggling stopping the run as well.
They are.
The Ravens have to win this game. There is no way that the Baltimore Ravens can afford to start the season 0-3.
I wouldn't think.
I think the Ravens win this game, and then 1 point is basically a money line. Give me the Baltimore Ravens -1 at the Cowboys. The sense of urgency, they have to find a way to win this game. Give me the Ravens -1.
I like that one. The Seattle Seahawks are at home against the Tua Tagovailoa
That was impressive.
Miami Dolphins. Thank you.
Can you do that again?
Tua Tagovailoa less.
That was good. I'm really impressed, actually.
Orioles win.
Yes.
Seattle's given 4.5 at home. Listen, the Dolphins, they spent. It's sad. They built their offense around Tua and all this stuff, and without Tua, they are scrambling. Seattle's playing pretty well out of the gate. Give me the Seahawks -4.5.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. I didn't want to I got that one down. You already took it, but yeah, I think that's a good pick. All right, Neal. I'm going to fall right into the damn trap.
Okay.
Sunday night, the Kansas City Chiefs are traveling to the Falcons. This line started out at 5. It's down to like 3.5. Is that still right?
I'm looking right now.
Sunday night.
3.5.
The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites at the Falcons. And
Atlanta's a 142 money line.
This line's moved because all the sharps have put their money on the Falcons, and it's moving down. And Neal, I'm going to go against the money. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs minus 3.5 on the road Sunday night. I just got this weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
When it's prime time, it's Sunday night, it's Monday night football. Patrick Mahomes seems to show up and be ready to play. And he wheels the stars come out at night. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs minus 3.5 on the road at the Falcons.
I'll be honest with you. I almost went the other side of this one.
I know. Everybody else did. That's why the line's moving.
Yeah, Kansas City they're 2-0. They're really fortunate to be 2-0, though. I mean, they could so easily be 0-2.
They could, but you got to look who they've played, too.
They've played 2 really good teams. I think Atlanta's a good team at home. It's interesting. I didn't touch it. I'm going with another dog. I skipped over that home dog, and I'm taking this one. The Arizona Cardinals at home against the Detroit Lions. I'm not crazy about what I've seen from Detroit so far.
A little lethargic.
And I am kind of crazy about what I've seen from the Cardinals so far. They went to Buffalo, played really well.
They had they have 17 or 21-point lead in that game and lost it at halftime? 17-point lead, maybe?
I can't remember exactly.
I mean, it was big.
But they played well. And
scores.
Buffalo is really good right now. And they look terrific last week. As long as Kyler Murray's healthy, and he is right now, I kind of like the Cardinals. I think they're a little sneaky. Give me the Cardinals +3. Let's see if that's where that line still is. Cardinals +3. Yep. Cardinals +3 at home against Detroit.
Hey, did in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, Leif says Kyler will be good until the new Call of Duty comes out.
There you go.
Hey,
there you go.
Come out yet. Let's go. That is very true. All right, Neal, my last pick.
Here's the thing about Kyler Murray, though, in all seriousness. He got humiliated the last couple of years with some of his off-the-field crap and not being counted on. And if you read stuff out there, and I have read a good bit about their team, just algorithms and whatnot, he appears to be far more dialed in this time around.
He also has Marvin Harrison Jr. to throw it to.
And this is a big spot in his career. Like, if you're going to get counted on, it's time to kind of get counted on.
I can tell you this. Marvin Harrison Jr. is tough enough to cover in man-to-man and the way they played the rules in the NFL. When Kyler Murray runs around for 10 seconds, he's really hard to cover.
You can't. Well, you can't, 100%.
So, I mean, you look at his big plays. I think every one of his big plays were off busted plays last week, like broken, extended plays by Kyler. All right, Neal, my last game. I'm taking the fighting Carson McCrady's, the fighting Bob Rucatos.
Wow.
And the Chicago Bears are traveling to Indianapolis. The Bears are getting 1.5 points to play AR 15, AR 5, whatever his name is now, Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts.
Carson's going to say, Dad, you want to watch this Bears game with me? I'm going to say, Carson, I got to do my hair right now. I mean, I'm busy.
And I am taking the Chicago Bears plus 1.5 on the road to win outright. I've had 4 people tell me I was crazy picking this game already that know football. I said the hell with it. I'm taking the Chicago Bears.
Well, the thing is, the Bears might have the one quarterback who's playing worse than him.
Hey, he will figure it out. Here's the thing about Caleb Williams.
He will figure it out.
All jokes aside about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams looks like a rookie quarterback that's going to be very talented because there are times in the game when he cuts it loose and he makes throws and you're like, holy shit, like wow. And then there's times you go, come on, dog, like he just misses wide open dudes. But give me the Bears plus 1.5 at the Colts because look, AR. Here's what he can do.
Game.
He can take off running and he can throw the ball 90 yards, but he can't run offense.
Right.
And if they can make him run offense, there you go.
Yeah. I don't hate that pick. Interesting game.
All right.
I don't plan to watch it, but interesting game. All right. We'll be back on Monday. Another week of shows. Got Butcher versus the Dance Instructor coming next here. Pete's Pigskin preview as well. And then hand raise guys this evening. We'll have the MPW Digital post-game show after Georgia Southern and Ole Miss. Tyler will probably be on there talking some football. I think if Ole Miss is a 36-point favorite, if it holds to the line, I think Chase is going to start a little early. So dial in, stay with us here.
Hey, Chase, it'd be great. Let me know so I can figure out my consumption plan. I got people coming over to the house too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I got a house full this weekend, I think.
Okay.
Of my peeps. My peeps coming in working. So we got a house full. I've been trying to get me to go to the Grove beforehand. I'm not going to the game for sure.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to be poached up inside the crib, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Thanks to everybody for listening. We've been brought to you by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, we've also been brought to you by our good friend Brandon at PTG Outdoors. They are a Camus boats dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. You can get all of your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. They have locations in Grenada, Mississippi, and Northport, Alabama. And it doesn't matter if you're on TikTok, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, make sure you go to ptgoutdoors.com to their online store, and they will send everything you need right to your house.
All right. See you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Take care.